Laboratory Maniac is back in NeoBrand, and it's all thanks to Mox Opal. So Neoform plus Griselbrand, turn 1 wins. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. This is NeoBrand in 2025, and I'm so excited to play this sick combo deck today. So the idea is that you want to play Allosaurus Rider on the first turn by exiling 2 green cards from your hand. You can then play Neoform, a 2 mana value sorcery. But how do you play this on the first turn? Well, we're a deck that plays Chancellor of the Tangle, so you reveal this creature from your hand at the beginning of the game. You get a green mana on your first main phase. So you play Neoform, sacrifice a creature with a mana value of 7, so that way you can go search your library for Griselbrand, since it has a mana value of 8. You'll draw 14 cards by paying 14 life. You'll draw into Nourishing Shoal, which allows you to exile a giant creature from your hand and gain life equal to its mana value. So you're able to keep drawing, and then eventually you'll play Zuran Orb for free, which allows you to sacrifice your lands, draw some more cards. You'll find Mox Amber, which taps for a black when you have a Griselbrand on the battlefield. Eventually, you'll draw into both of your Mox Opals, you'll play them, tap it for a mana, play the other one, Legend Rule happens, tap that other one for a blue, and then you can play your Laboratory Maniac, draw 7 cards and win the game. We're no longer a deck that needs Endurance to win. This is still in here in case your Laboratory Maniac becomes, discarded or something. But you don't have to loop in order to win anymore, which means this deck no longer loses to Graveyard Hate. That is huge. This is the first time this deck has done that since it won with the Dinosaur with Fortifying Drought. And it's just, I think, a huge improvement to the strategy. So I'm really excited to play this current build today. I think it's going to be great. I hope we get a lot of turn 1 wins. Like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. But I just want to get going. I want to cast some broken spells. Hopefully you enjoy the video. And I'll see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswurm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswurm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to reveal the Chancellor because we don't have the Rider. Maybe I should, but I don't know. They reveal basic planes into Guide of Souls, so we're facing Energy. Okay. We draw a Wurm. We'll play the Breeding Pool. Ouch. Good 18. Play Preordain. Digging for that Allosaurus Rider. We don't find it. I'll bottom both. And there it is. So we have a turn 2 win. Or at least what I hope is a turn 2 win. Sacred Foundry. Swing. No play from the opponent. We'll play our land. And let's play the Rider. We will exile 2 copies of Evolution. Tap for a blue. Tap for a green. Neoform. We'll grab the Griselbrand. And let's draw 7. We will exile the Wurm and we'll gain 15 life. We'll draw 7 more. Play out a Mox Opal. Let's draw 7 more. And 7 more after that. So we'll go to 4. We'll play Mox Amber. And we'll gain 15 more life. So now I can draw 7 more cards. We hit the Zuran Orb. So let's play that. Okay. All the way in the front here, I have my Laboratory Maniac, and I have my last copy of Nourishing Shoal. So we'll tap the Opal for a blue, we'll play it again. Play the other Opal. We'll exile Chancellor of the Tangle, we'll gain 7 life. I'll go up to 19. We will draw 7. My bad, I still have a Nourishing Shoal somewhere in my hand or the deck, but we're about to draw the rest of the deck. Alright, so I'll go to 5, and now I have no deck. I will sacrifice Gemstone Mine, this puts me up to 7. Sacrifice Breeding Pool. We'll play the Laboratory Maniac. She's a maniac, nope, none of that. Alright, and now I will draw 7. Sweet. We've taken game number 1 against Energy. So these Energy decks are running a bunch of Orm's Chants in the sideboard. So you do want Pact of Negation, even though it doesn't seem like a great matchup for it. We probably also want Into the Floodmaw. So we'll take out Veil of Summer. And I think we probably want Gemstone Cavern. Take out a couple copies of like Turntimber Symbiosis. Maybe the Endurance, because we're not facing a deck with discard. And then the question is like, would you rather have Noxious Revival or the Pact of Negation? And I think maybe the Pact of Negation is better against Orm's Chant. So we'll try this out. Game number 2 on the draw. Oh my. So we have the Griselbrand in our hand, but we do have a Ghalta in our deck. You know what? I'm going to keep this. It might bite me in the butt, but I think that this hand is fine. Marsh Flats for basic plains. Ocelot Pride. Okay. We draw a fetch land. I don't mind that. So now we don't even need a second land. I just have to find the Rider. Play Preordain. Look at the Devil! There it is, Summoner's Pact. We have a turn 2 win. So this is a turn 2 win, except currently I'd have to exile a Wurm and a Nourishing Shoal. So I really want to draw a green card so I don't have to exile a Nourishing Shoal. That would be best case scenario. A Dashed Ragavan. That's a little annoying. So we'll take 3 here. That knocks me down to 15, and they get a treasure. Turntimber Symbiosis was the card they exiled. Alright, so I am dead to an Orm's Chant. I can't stop that. But I still think we're probably supposed to go for a win here. Another Nourishing Shoal was the draw. No! Alright. Not good. We'll grab Forest. Play Summoner's Pact. We'll grab a Allosaurus Rider. We'll play the Rider, exiling the Wurm and a Nourishing Shoal. Blue, green. We'll play Neoform, sacrificing the Rider. And now we'll grab our Ghalta. This will trigger. We'll put Griselbrand onto the table. Let's draw 7. We hit the other Wurm. I mean, that was very fortunate. And we hit the other Nourishing Shoal. Very lucky. So now we can draw 7. Play out the Zurin Orb. Play the Mox. Sacrifice the lands. Draw 7. Draw 7 again. We'll play out an Opal. Summoner's Pact to thin the deck. So this gets us down to 17 cards left. Grab the other Rider. There's another Opal still in the deck that we need to draw into. I don't know if we can do this. I have 2 Shoals left. Summoner's Pact. This gets us down to 16. Grab a Chancellor. Summoner's Pact. Because I boarded out the Endurance. So I think we're going to end up like just short of being able to draw our whole deck. Because I can gain 7 twice, which is enough to activate Griselbrand, but then I can't draw in with the Laboratory Maniac. I think we're actually just short. It was like a perfect storm of exiling a Shoal and the other Wurm. I guess we have to just draw 7 and pray. I don't think there's anything that saves me here, but we'll see. We'll draw 7. I would need like it yeah, we can't do it. I would have needed to like hit double Summoner's Pact, which I've already used all of them. This was a really weird game. Exile a Chancellor, I suppose. And I boarded out the Noxious Revival, so it was like everything that I could have used this game, I ended up sideboarding out. Alright, so we're going to end up losing this one because I'm just short. What a bummer. Alright, well I guess that's what I get for boarding out everything. Okay, so now I have to try to 3-0 this person. Get the Gemstone Caverns out of the deck. We'll bring the Turntimbers back in. I suppose I'll bring back in the Endurance. We'll board out 1 Pact of Negation. Maybe we'll board out 1 Floodmaw on the play. Let's try this. On the play for game 3. If the Disciple was a blue land, this be a turn 1. So I think you're supposed to keep this and pray that you draw a blue mana. This deck admittedly does not play Wild Cantor. So like I don't think Wild Cantor is a card you should play. I will say that. Like I think it's just not good enough in the majority of games. But we'll see how this shakes out. We have to draw a blue land. They play Guide of Souls, and now we're going to pray to Kronos that draws a blue mana source. Pray with me. Come on. There we go. Thank you, Kronos, my Lord and Savior. Alright, so we will play Summoner's Pact. We'll grab Allosaurus Rider, play the Zern Orb, and now we will play the Rider, exiling these 2 green cards. Neoform sacrifices the Rider to go grab Griselbrand. We'll sacrifice our lands. I'm at 24. Okay, 36 cards. We'll exile Wurm, draw, draw, and draw again. Actually, wait, I should look, because if I didn't hit a Shoal and I hit Noxious Revival, that would be dumb. Alright, so we'll play Mox Opal. Did I hit a Summoner's Pact in here? No. Alright, so we'll draw. I'm now at 4. We hit 2 more Shoals and a Summoner's Pact. So the Pact will make it so we'll draw the rest of our deck because there's only 14 cards left after we search. We'll play a Nourishing Shoal to gain 15. And now we can draw the rest of the deck. We'll play the Mox Amber, tap for a blue. And now we'll play this Mox Opal, tap, tap. And now there's a Laboratory Maniac in the front of my hand somewhere. First world problems. My hand is so big I can't see it all. Alright, we'll play Laboratory Maniac. And now we have to gain more life. So there's a Nourishing Shoal. We'll exile a Allosaurus Rider. And now we'll draw 7. We have 3-0 to our first round opponent, and we are 1-0 to start off this Modern League. Hopefully you enjoyed that match. I'm sure we'll have tons of other sweet ones. Stick around and check those out. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Alright, time for the second match. We're facing Ari Zax, who's another NeoBrander, but more often than not ends up playing decks like Ruby Storm. Alright, so we have a turn 2 win on the play. We're going to keep this. I don't know what Ari Zax is playing today, but I'm not going to send back a turn 2 win. So we're going to try this. My best draw would be another green card, so that way I don't have to exile the Nourishing Shoal. We'll play a Hedge Maze. Get rid of the Mox Opal. Elegant Parlor. So it is Ruby Storm, and Ari's been playing lists that have a bunch of Orm's Chants in the sideboard, so I'm slightly worried about that. We'll play the Rider, exile the Chancellor of the Tangle, and turn Timber Symbiosis. Neoform. So we're going to search out the Griselbrand. I will have to Endurance to win, just because I've surveilled away the Mox Opal. So we'll grab a Wurm here, exile the Wurm, and now we'll draw 7. Exile another Wurm. Now we'll draw some more cards. Nourishing Shoal, exile the Gulta. Alright, so now I'm up to 37. We'll play Summoner's Pact. Go grab the Endurance. Let's draw 7, down to 30 life. We'll Shoal to put we'll Noxious Revival to put a Nourishing Shoal on top of the deck. And now we'll draw 7 more. We'll play Endurance. Exile a Chancellor. It just doesn't matter. Like, ideally you would put a card with a low mana value, but it just doesn't matter here. We'll Summoner's Pact. Go grab the Endurance again. We'll Nourishing Shoal. Exile will gain 7. And now we'll draw. Nourishing Shoal will gain 7. Draw down to 21. Draw again. So there's 1 card left in our deck now. Is it really the Zern Orb? I'm gonna double check here with the Summoner's Pact. I guess I should have Summoner's Pact before I drew 7 again. It is in fact the Zern Orb. Okay. So we have to Endurance loop. So I will gain 7 more. I guess I can Summoner's Pact again. Play the Mox Opal, even though it's not Metalcraft. And now I'll Endurance, wherever that card is. Where is it? There it is. We'll exile the Neoform. Target, sure. I mean, theoretically, I'm putting 8 cards back into my deck, so I might not draw the Zern. Actually, I'm guaranteed to draw the Zern Orb, because it's the top card. It's not a shuffle. Alright, so now we have the Zern Orb. Tap for a blue. And now we can play the Laboratory Maniac. There it is. Oh, it's sliding. Stop sliding, please. Nope. Okay, there we go. And now we'll draw. So that was a little messier than it needed to be, but a win's a win. So we've taken game number 1. All right, so I know about Wurm's Chant, so I think we want Pact of Negation. We want these Gemstone Caverns. We'll get rid of Veil of Summer. Take out a few copies of Turn Timber Symbiosis for the Gemstone Caverns. Let's try this. All right, so we've opened up a turn 2 win. We'll keep this. Arid Mesa, and they pass. Chancellor of the Tangle, right on time, baby. All right, so let's play Preordain. We'll bottom the Wurm, keep the Misty Rainforest, because it means that I don't have to Lightning Bolt myself if I want to try to win next turn. Ideally, Ari would tap out on turn 2 for like a Ruby Medallion, and then we win. Because then I don't have to care about a Wurm's Chant. Gemstone Caverns, Reckless Impulse, and we have the ability to just go off now. Well, I guess we would have been we would have been in Wurm's Chant anyway with this Pact of Negation draw. We'll grab our Forest, play Rider, exile the Evolution and Disciple, play Neoform, grab Griselbrand. No Shoal, so we'll draw 7, we're down to 5. There we go. So now we'll play a Summoner's Pact, go grab the Wurm, and now we'll play the Nourishing Shoal, exiling the Wurm. I'm up to 20, we'll play Mox Opal. We'll Noxious Revival the Nourishing Shoal to the top of the deck. Draw, play Summoner's Pact, go grab the other Wurm, and they concede. We're 2-0, running hot. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little slow. It's a turn 3, but we have everything we need. They play a Plains and a Guide of Souls. Sure. So this is a matchup where having a slightly slower hand is not the end of the world. So we'll play a Breeding Pool and pass. Sacred Foundry. Ajani. Okay. So Summoner's Pact here represents our 3rd land because we can go get the Disciple of Freyles and then play it untapped to Lightning Bolt ourselves. So life total is a problem, but it's a hand that functions, so we keep it. So we're about to take at least 4, so that would put me to 15. And then the Disciple would knock me down to 12. So we get 1 Griselbrand activation. A Dashed Ragavan. That's not good, because now the Guide of Souls can jump. So if they knock me down below 1 activation, we're dead. Okay. So I would actually go to 8. So we get 1 activation here. Another Guide of Souls. Okay. I'm dead to a Lightning Bolt, but I can't do anything about that. I draw a Rider. Okay, Summoner's Pact. We'll go grab Disciple of Freyles, play it untapped, and now I'll play the Rider, exile Summoner's Pact and the other Rider. We'll play Evolution, grab Griselbrand. I'll go to 1. We did find a Nourishing Shoal. We'll exile the Wurm and gain 15. So I have not played... No, I have played a Summoner's Pact, so I need to win this turn. Okay, so let's play the other Summoner's Pact. We'll grab the other Wurm, draw 7. Now we can gain 15. I think we've got it now. Noxious Revival back a Noxious Revival back a Nourishing Shoal. We'll draw 7. We'll play Summoner's Pact, grab another Rider. So we have a Galta down here. We'll exile the Galta to gain 8. Play a Mox Opal. I'm at 23. We have 25 cards left in our deck. Let's play the Endurance, exile a Neoform. We'll put all of those spells on the bottom because we want to draw them again. We'll draw 7. Draw 7 again. I'm at 9. Uh-oh. Draw 7 again, down to 2. Alright, we found another Shoal. That's good. Exile a Chancellor. Exile a Turn Timber. And now we'll draw 7. There's the Zuran Orb. There we go. Sacrifice our lands. We'll gain a little bit more life. Alright, we'll tap the Opal for a blue. We'll play another copy of Mox Opal. Play the Laboratory Maniac. And draw. The Galvanic Discharge. I will show them a Pact of Negation. Not up in here. Not up in here. Draw 7. Sweet. Okay, next game. We probably want the Gemstone Caverns on the draw. We'll get rid of 2 copies of Turn Timber Symbiosis. We don't need Veil of Summer. Maybe I'm like too afraid of Wurm's Chant. I don't know. Better I could try no Flood Maws. Like a lot of these lists don't even play Permanent Hate anymore. Let's try this. Like I was studying lists for the sideboard guides when I was building Ruby Storm, and I did not see like Magebane Lizard, Deafening Silence, Damping Sphere, anything like that out of the energy decks. What I really saw was just like Thraben Charms and Wurm's Chants. So I'm going to take a chance here and just, you know, not board into the Flood Maw. Game number 2, we'll keep this. This could be a turn 1 win, but I have to draw a green card. We have so many of them in our deck, so many green cards. I'm going to just pray that we do, because I would like to have a turn 1 win in this video. I feel like that would be a good thing. So, yeah, a green card is all we need. All right, we have revealed our Chancellor of the Tangle. Our opponent's taken a mulligan down to 6. They play a Flooded Strand for a Sacred Foundry. That's a Ragavan. All right, green card off the top rope. Let's see it. No! Why are you like this deck? All right, so no turn 1 win. We'll play Hedge Maze. You don't get our Mox Opal, sorry. We will pass the turn. All right, so Ragavan connects. We go to 18. They exile Nourishing Shoal. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Stony Silence. Okay, I mean, we can put a giant demon on the table. I have to draw a green card, but that is a way we can win. They surveil away a Galvanic Discharge. Alright, let's do the giant demon thing. We will Neoform for a Griselbrand. Let's draw 7. Play Amber. I think I'll just go to cleanup. Discard Misty, Misty, pass. Guide of Souls, I don't care. Ocelot Pride, sure. Okay. We draw into Galta. I'll start by attacking. This will put me back up to 19. And now we'll draw 7, down to 12 life. Let's play a Rider. Drawing the Galta here stinks, because now I can't Neoform it into play. You know what? I'm going to pay 7 life down to 5. We did not draw into a Shoal. That's not good. Let's Preordain. Both of these on the bottom. I might have just lost this game. Preordain again. Zuran Orb. That I can't activate. We'll put Zuran Orb on the bottom, keep the Preordain. So all of our Nourishing Shoals seem to be on the bottom of her deck. Preordain. Wow. I missed. All of our Shoals on the bottom. We just lost this game. I have 1 Rider I can play as a blocker. I found the losing line. I had a giant 8/8 demon that probably would have won the game, but instead I got a little too aggressive. We will take the Gemstone Caverns out. Bring back in the Turn Timbers. Let's take out a Pact on the play and we'll bring in a Flood Maw. Let's try this. On the play for game 3. So this is everything other than the Neoform effect. It could be an Wurm's Chant. I think I'm going to mulligan. This is garbage. We're going to send this back. I guess it's like the same hand as our 6. It's basically the same as our 6, actually. But it's 1 card less. I think I'm going to just go to 5. Alright, down to 5. We'll keep, put Griselbrand on the bottom and one of the green lands. So I need to draw blue mana and I need to draw into the Rider. Our opponent has also taken a mulligan to 5. We'll play Turn Timber, pass the turn. I thought for sure that game I would have drawn into a Nourishing Shoal by drawing 14 plus cards with 3 Preordains. I just got too aggressive. They have a turn 1 Ragavan. We'll hold the Disciple because I might want to use that as a green card for the Rider. I'll go to 18. Chancellor of the Tangle was exiled. I didn't want to draw that. Stony Silence again. Galta. We have to pass. They search out Elegant Parlor. Ragavan will connect. I'll go to 16. They exile a Wurm. A Ajani. Yep. Another Preordain. We have to pass. This is the punish for me being too aggressive in game 2. But I saw 20 cards that turn. 21. Hold on. 9 cards off Preordain. Draw step would be 10. 14 off of Griselbrand. 24 cards. Never saw a Nourishing Shoal. Neoform was just exiled. Goblin Bombardment. I think I'm actually dead. So I'm not dead right now, but I need at least 2 cards in order to win. And I don't think I'm capable of drawing the win in those cards. So I guess I could draw a blue land into Preordain, into Nourishing Shoal, exile the Galta to stay alive, and then pray to untap and do something meaningful? Nope. Alright, so we got punished. I lose this match because of that game number 2. We're now 2-1. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. We're on the draw for match number 4. We've opened up an unplayable hand. We will send this back. So if we draw a blue land, this hand is a turn 1. And if we don't, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm going to keep. Bottom the Mox Opal. Leyline of the Guild Pact. Okay. Chancellor of the Tangle. I'm choosing to believe. Blooded Strand. They pass. We drew our blue land. Alright. Play Gemstone Mine. Summoner's Pact. We'll grab Allosaurus Rider. We'll play the Rider, exiling Chancellor of the Tangle and Neoform. We'll play the Neoform, sacrificing Allosaurus Rider. Griselbrand. I will pay 7 life and attempt to draw 7 cards. No Leyline binding. I will attempt to draw 7 more. Play Zurin Orb. Sacrifice the Gemstone Mine to gain 2. They have not done anything. We will exile a Wurm. We gain 15 life. I can now draw more cards. Summoner's Pact again. Grab the other Wurm. And now we can exile it to gain 15 more life. Draw 7. Draw 7. Alright, I feel like I'm pressured here to Noxious Revival a Nourishing Shoal on top. So I'll end up at 15. We'll draw 7 more. We'll exile a Rider to gain 7 life. Exile Chancellor to gain 7. Nourishing Shoal again. Exile the Galta. 9 cards left in my deck. We'll draw off Griselbrand. Tap the Opal for a blue. We'll play Opal. 2 cards left in our deck. Let's see what they are. Summoner's Pact. My last card is Laboratory Maniac. Alright, so we have to Endurance. Wherever it may be. There it is. Alright, exile Veil of Summer. Target myself. And now I will pay 7, draw 7. Pay 7, draw 7. I have no library left. Sweet. Play a Mox Opal. Play Laboratory Maniac. Draw. We've taken game number 1 and our first turn 1 win of the league, I believe. Alright, so we're facing some sort of domain deck. I'm guessing we want Pact of Negations. We're on the draw, but I don't think that this is a turn 1 matchup, so I'm going to board out the Chancellors, even though I just had a turn 1 win. But I think we want the other Veil of Summers. Submit. Like, this could be like the 5-color Rhinos deck that has a bunch of Force of Negations. It could be Domain Zoo. I'm not really sure. And Domain Zoo does have counter magic. Alright, so this hand is just missing Rider. I will keep. Leyline of the Guild Pact is back. Blooded Strand, and they pass. Another Nourishing Shoal. Okay. They fetch. Thundering Falls. Gets rid of a Psychic Frog. Interesting. They just play a land and pass. So they're not a shardless deck. We draw Preordain. I'll play it. We definitely don't need Nourishing Shoal. We'll take the other Preordain. Play Gemstone Mine. Play the Preordain. Griselbrand on the bottom, we will draw the Rider. So we could try to win next turn, but we don't have protection. There's 4 copies of Pact of Negation and 4 copies of Veil of Summer. That would be good draws. Lightning Bolt. You got it. I don't know what our opponent's doing, but this is not what I expected. And without playing a land, they just pass. Misty Rainforest. I think I'm going to just pass the turn. I could jam here, but our opponent's keeping up mana. Like, they probably have something. And I'd rather just take my chance of drawing, one of our interaction spells. Sign of Draco. Let's fetch out the Hedge Maze. Even though I did bottom 3 cards with Preordains, it's a little bit awkward. Hedge Maze. Another Neoform. I don't think we need that. Another land. Okay. We will pass. They swing for 4. I'm at 12 now. We'll fetch on the end step down to 11. Grab the Breeding Pool. Preordain. Let's play it. There's a Pact of Negation. I think we're supposed to try. Rider, exiling Endurance, and Turn Timber Symbiosis. If our opponent has 2 pieces of interaction, I'm fine with losing this game. Neoform. Mystical Dispute. I will Pact of Negation. Neoform back on the stack. And another Mystical Dispute. Okay. Next game. I think I'm just going to resubmit. On the play for game 3. I mean, this is just a turn 2. Yeah, we'll keep. They have a mulligan to 6. And Leyline. We'll play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. Arid Mesa. So my best draw here would be a Pact of Negation. We'll grab Hedge Maze. Another Neoform. We don't need that. Nourishing Shoal. I think I'm going to try to play this a little bit more slowly. Pass the turn. They fetch with the Arid Mesa. Gets rid of a Leyline of the Guild Pact. Flooded Strand. And they dash a Ragavan. Okay, that's interesting. I'll go to 17. And they hit a Wurm. Okay. So I can now win without... I can beat a Mystical Dispute because I don't have to play a blue spell. We'll grab a Rider. Fetch. Grab Forest. Play Zurin Orb. Play Rider, exiling Neoform and Evolution. Well, Evolution on the Rider. So we beat Mystical Dispute. I don't know what else they have, but they have something. Stubborn Denial? Of course. The other card. Ah! Why? Ugh. Alright. I mean, I knew it was a possibility. Jeez Louise. We just lost. We saw double Mystical Dispute in game 2. Why are you not dashing? Like, I have 1 card in hand. Oh, I guess I lose to the Summoner's Pact. I guess that's why. Alright, so we're now 2-2. This league is slowly or quickly going downhill. Let's see if we can get the final match and finish this with a positive record. The best Legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Coval and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. The 5th and final round, we will keep. So you have an Evolution, you have Summoner's Pact to go get your Rider. So this is a turn 3 win where you have to draw into a 3rd land. It's a little slow, but ultimately I do think it's a keep. Blackcleave Cliffs. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Mishra's Bauble. Gets rid of a Detective's Phoenix. So we're facing Hollow One. Misty Rainforest. We'll play that and pass. So I thought that I've had the last few matches is... I was studying some lists before I ended up building this one. And people are essentially playing +2 lands these days because you're still playing a bunch of Turn Timber Symbiosis. I believe my list is on 3, but some lists are playing 4 + 2 Disciples. So the deck has actually gone up on lands. And I can't but wonder if maybe Abundant Harvest is better. Like, the list used to play Abundant Harvest way back when. They don't anymore. So I'm basically just curious on like if we should be playing Abundant Harvest, because I felt like I've struggled this league with consistency, and maybe just 4 Preordain isn't enough. All right, tapped Breeding Pool, pass the turn. So we have a win next turn, or at least a win attempt. A Channeler, Lightning Bolt. So this will put me down to 15. That gives them instant. So now they have land, so they have Delirium. This is not good. So 15 minus 7, 8. I think the Netherglyph grows, and if I'm right, I can't actually activate Griselbrand. We might be in trouble because I can't activate the Griselbrand, so I'd have to draw into Nourishing Shoal, or I don't know, exactly a Rider, because then I could put the Griselbrand into play and just like try to block. Yeah, so now it puts me down to 7, and I can't activate Griselbrand. Wow, our hand wasn't fast enough, because now I can't win. This is the problem with Evolution. It's just so slow. We're dead. There's no path forward. Alright, we lose this one. I think you want to keep in a few Pact of Negations to protect your Laboratory Maniac. This is a Orcish Bowmaster's deck and a Thoughtseize deck, so you could bring in Leyline of Sanctity. But what gets sided out? So my list is +1 land, because I have the 3 Turn Timbers plus 2 Disciples. So I think you probably only need like 1 Pact of Negation. You probably get rid of the Noxious. And then if you're... maybe you want to keep 1 Veil of Summer in case you don't open up on Leyline, so that way you can still beat a Bowmaster. And then maybe I'll board out one of the extra lands. Let's try this. On the play for game number 2. I mean, it's another turn 3. We'll keep it. Misty Rainforest, pass. They play Scalding Tarn. Searches out Blood Crypt. Cycles a Street Wraith down to 15 life. Down to 13 life. Faithless Looting. Alright, it looks like there's a hollow one coming. They do, in fact, play a hollow one. Mishra's Bauble. And they use it immediately. We will fetch. Grab the Hedge Maze. Surveil. Get rid of this Chancellor, the Tangle. We do not want that. They'll draw off the Mishra's Bauble. Preordain. We'll play the Preordain. Bottom the land. Keep the Shoal. Play the Turn Timber. Pass. So I'm in a weird spot here because this Summoner's Pact finds the Rider. Rider exiles Chancellor and Nourishing Shoal, which I don't want to happen. So I need to draw into a green card. Or else we could be in a situation where we're not really capable of winning. And then the hollow one is going to smack me here down to 15. They could play a creature and then Phoenix it, which means that I would only get 1 Griselbrand activation. Like this Netherglyph. And they put the Phoenix on the Netherglyph. And now I'm taking 9. So I'm going to be at 10. We draw a Neoform. I mean, it's good. We will Summoner's Pact. Grab the Rider. Now we can exile Evolution and Chancellor. Play Neoform. Grab Griselbrand. Draw. We did not hit a Wurm, but I did hit the Zurin Orb. We'll add a blue. Let's gain 6 life. So this gives me another Griselbrand activation. So we'll pay 7, draw 7. I did hit a Ghalta, so that's plus 8 life. We'll exile the Ghalta, so now I'm at 10. Draw 7 more. We hit Amber, so now we have Metalcraft. But not much else in there. Let's Preordain. We hit Nourishing Shoal, that's good. We'll keep that. Exile a Turn Timber Symbiosis to gain 7. We can now draw 7 more. Down to 3 life. Alright, so now we finally hit a Summoner's Pact. We'll go grab a Wurm. Exile the Wurm to gain 15. Draw. Tap the Opal for a blue. We'll play the new Opal. Play Laboratory Maniac. I am just short of drawing the rest of my deck. Draw with Griselbrand. I'm at 4. Oh wow. We're not going to be able to do it. We missed. Really? We hit the Endurance, but I didn't have any way to shuffle. So these are the 7 we drew off the last one. So we hit this Summoner's Pact plus these. So I hit the Endurance on the last one that could have put these cards on the bottom. So we had one more Nourishing Shoal that's in the bottom 2, and I had to hit it. And I'm not going to be able to pay. So I guess playing out the Laboratory Maniac cost me here. Because otherwise I could have preordained into it and then Endurance looped. So this is actually on me. Summoner's Pact. Yep, and there it is. So this game is on me. We should have won this one. This one is entirely my own fault. This was a rough one. Yeah. There's nothing else I can do. This is just bad play. There's no excuse. Alright, so we went 2 and 3. Bummer. So there's 2 games in which my play cost us this league, and by us I mean me. So game 2 against Energy, I was probably too aggressive, but mathematically speaking, I was also very unlucky. But sometimes that happens. And then game 3 here, I think I just kind of threw. I think that I should have not have just been so, like, in my head I was like, okay, we've won, let's just go through this the quickest way possible. And that wasn't the way to do it, and I was punished for trying to play too quickly. So that's on me. No real excuse. I should have played slower, played more carefully, and it ended up with being a loss. So that's my fault. Regarding the deck list, the deck used to have more consistency in it, and I feel like I missed it a lot this league. I would like to see another draw spell or something in the deck moving forward. It's just, without Abundant Harvest or like the Elven Farsight, I felt like the deck was just too draw-based, and I didn't love that. So this league could have been a 4-1. It also, you know, it's just my play wasn't great. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses. Like, I could have played this better. But I do like Laboratory Maniac. Not needing to Endurance Loop, I think, is a big pro. Like, you're not a graveyard deck anymore. You're a deck that can use the graveyard, but you don't care about Leyline of the Void. So I think moving forward, I'm going to continue to work with Laboratory Maniac, but I think I want to go down a land, and I might cut like Noxious Revival and Veil of Summer and something else for Abundant Harvests. It's just the deck needs more smoothing. Or Elven Farsight. But if you want to play Elven Farsight, I think you have to change other things about the deck. Like if you go back to this Witherbloom list that I played in my last video, in order to do that, I was playing Generous End and no, what is it called? Turn Timber Symbiosis. Because I was trying to raise the creature count to support Elven Farsight. So there's a number of things that you have to try to do in order to make it work. So that's all I've got for today. I'm sorry that I didn't play that well. I'm sure people, you know, tear me apart in the comments because that happens when I don't play well. But thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day and keep storming. You know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the deck list in today's video, go to the comment section, check out that pinned comment where you will find 2 links. One for TCG Player, so you can buy the deck, and the other is so that you can rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Card Hoarder is the best rental service for Magic Online. They truly make playing online extremely affordable. Go check out Card Hoarder today.